Parashat Ba'alotcha, look Harot Ba'alotcha. Parashat Ba'alotcha. So at the end of last week's parasha, we read about the korbanot, excuse me, of the Nesiim in the inauguration of the Mishkan. Our parasha starts with the commandment of Aaron, to light the candles of the menorah, to light the menorah, the candelabra, in the Mishkan. And the Mefarshim dealt with this, why the Torah had to put in such proximity, the issue of the korbanot, of the Nesiim, and lighting of the menorah. And Rashi is mitares, and I'm quoting, says, Lama nismecha parashat ha-menorah le parashat ha-nesiim. Why with the proximity of these two parashiot? Lefi shekshera'a Aaron chanukat ha-nesiim chalsha da'ato. When Aaron saw the Nesiim bringing their offering, he became a little upset. Why? Shelo haya imahem b'chanukah. He wasn't a part of the inauguration. Lo hu velo shifto. Not him and not his tribe. Amar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu chayecha. Don't worry about it. Shelcha gdola mishelayim. Yours is greater than hers. She'ata madlik u'meitiv et haneot. I don't know. If I was Aaron, I think I would say, okay, fine, whatever. One of those things that just honestly doesn't make sense. So let's look at this a little bit. So if we'll explain the words of Rashi in Sefer Kohelet. Sam, you should know it by now. How do you say Kohelet in English?
No, that's not.
A what?
Yes.
You don't argue with yours. Yes. In Kohelet, Perek Aleph, Pasuk Tedvav, it says, מעוות לא יכול לתקון, וחיסרון לא יוכל להימנות. Something that is distorted could not be fixed, and something that was lacking cannot be counted. More or less. And the Braita in Masechet Chagiga in Daf Tet Amud Bet says, מעוות לא יכול להתקן, distorted, that cannot be fixed, זה שביטל קריאת שמע של שחרית, a person who was mevatel, he overslept, he slept too long, so he didn't do kriyat shema shel shacharit, או של ערבית, או שביטל תפילה של שחרית, או תפילה של ערבית. That's what it is. וחיסרון לא יוכל להימנות, and something that is lacking, that cannot be counted, זה שנמנו חבריו לדבר מצווה, והוא לא נמנה עמהם. That the buddies decided to come and learn Torah, and he decided, or to do a mitzvah to that matter, and he decided not to join them. He cannot be counted for that mitzvah. In other words, if you look at it this way, there are certain, and excuse me for using this term, regular mundane mitzvot, if we can say something like this about a mitzvah, that when the time had passed, there's nothing that you could do to repay it. As we say, avar zmano batal korbano. It's finished. I mean, you can. What are you gonna do now? Right? You can't bring the time back. And the person who was lacking on that mitzvah is missing from him forever. Think about it next time you oversleep. Forever. The mitzvah is gone. There's nothing you could do to turn the wheels of time back and then do the mitzvah again. It's gone forever. And a person, for example, could read mitzvah Shema all his life, and it was mevatel one day. Yes, his reward for saying Kriyat Shema every day is great. That's without a doubt, but still, he's an eternal deficit in comparison to the person who never missed Kriyat Shema. Think about this. It's scary. And there are, for example, situations that some people decided, let's say, to do a certain mitzvah together. Let's do a mitzvah together. And one of the guys was not with them. He did not take part of this mitzvah. So therefore, eternally, he's going to be in a deficit because he's not going to be counted with his friends. When they're going to get the reward for the mitzvah, he's not going to get it. Like learning. You know, learning is something that we don't. You lose it for a day, it loses you for 2 days. What does it mean it loses you for 2 days? Because you're always going to be catching up. You're never going to catch up. Never. That's why when you decide to kovea itim la Torah, pretend that you are dead, that there's nothing. Nobody can bother you then, nobody can bother you now. Don't take telephone calls, don't get up and leave, don't, say, oh, today I'm not going. Unless you, for example, anus, I don't know, you're sick or whatever it is that you do. Why? Because Talmud Torah keneged kulam. Talmud Torah keneged kulam.
What does keneged kulam mean?
Means keneged kulam means if you take all the mitzvot together in one side of a scale, Talmud Torah is equal to all the other mitzvot. There are sometimes circumstances that you will have to go, but people would argue. For example, let's say you need to go to a shidduch, right? So people will argue with you. You're right. Okay, we hear you. However, if you're really serious about it, make sure you go to the shidduch. That's not when you're learning. And when you're learning, because that time is gone forever. It's if you would just think about this, I think you would live your life a little differently. I think so. So the Nesi'im, as we say, were designated to do a very, very special and unique mitzvah, and that's the inauguration of the Mishkan. And the Nasir of every Shevet brought his korban and were very expensive gifts for the inauguration of the Mishkan. And more than that, all the Nesi'im brought exactly the same gifts and the same weight and the same number and so on and so forth. The only Shevet who didn't bring anything, of course, is Shevet Levi. And Aharon, being the senior Kohen, right, it was a tremendous tsar because, thank you, Sam, for knocking the table, because for them, he is begeder in a thing of chisaron lo yacholi manot. That's going to be something that like him forever cannot be counted. In other words, he, Aaron, and his tribe, Levi, are not going to be counted in establishing or doing this great mitzvah of korbanot nedava in Chanukat HaMishkan. And there's nothing you can do because you're not inaugurating the Mishkan again. Now, you have to understand that halacha in the Torah is fantastic. And the halacha understands the psyche of the person, the nature of the person. And the Torah understands that a person is mitlahev, is excited when he's doing certain mitzvot, let's say, or something that is unique, chad pe'ami, or something that is rare, and so much that the halakha tells us that you do something so great, what do? Come on, guys, what do? You make shechianu. Shechianu v'kimanu v'gianu l'zman hazeh. Right? So you make shechianu, and you make shechianu, a mitzvah that comes once in a long time, like for example, Sukkah, Shofar, Lulav, Chanukah candles, whether it's Megillah and Purim, and so on and so forth, Brit Milah, Pidyon HaBen. I mean, how many times you can circumcise your son, right? I mean, it's only one time. However, even though the mitzvah tzitzit and tefillin are no less than those mitzvot, by all means, a person doesn't make shechianu before he puts tefillin every single day. Why? Because shechianu is a bracha of giving thanks for something that is a tremendous simcha, tremendous joy. And since tefillin we put every single day, so a person is not so excited to put tefillin on. It's not that, I got to put tefillin on. So, I mean, even the Rot Chanukah that, that you light for 8 days, on the first night you make a mitzvah. And that's what the first night, everybody would agree to me, that the first night of Chanukah is the most exciting night. We say L'Shem Yichud, Nachal, all these things. We said the long Yeshem Lichud, and so on and so forth. Menorah Elionah, all kind of stuff like that. We say there's only one candle. At the 8 days of the Chanukah, Ma'otzur Yeshuati, we always finish, yalla. And I'm deliberately using the menorah. So that's why Chachamim said on the first candle, you make Shechianu. Now, regarding regular mitzvot, what we call regular mitzvot that we do all the time, there are a few rules. One of the rules that we have in mitzvah is the En Shne Kolot Nishmaim. En Shne Kolot Nishmaim, what does it mean? It means if I, for example, want to read something myself, but I don't want to read, I need to read something, I don't want to read it, and I hear somebody else reading that, and I want him to exempt me, of course I have to fulfill the halacha of Shomea, Umotzi, Umechaven, and so on and so forth. I have to have in mind to be exempt by him, and he has to have in mind to exempt me, and therefore, when he says it, it's like I said it. For example, if we do Kiddush, right, and that's what we do in Kiddush, right? One person makes the bracha, everybody hears what he has to say, and it is like he held the cup and he made the bracha. He fulfilled the mitzvah, right? That's something amazing. Now, but I have to hear only one person. I cannot hear two people. Why? Who said it? The reason is, of course, the reason is that if I'm going to say, let's say for example, let's say Ari and I were going to say, "Vayuchulu hashamayim va'aretz v'chol zeh," just a part of it, right? You ready? We're on an experiment.
And people will hear us both.
Just say it. I'm going to say eins, zwei, drei, and then you're going to go, right? Yalla. Uno, dos, tres. Yeah. I say eins, zwei, drei, uno, dos, tres. And then, because they have to be silent. Okay, right? 1, 2, 3. Vayuchulu hashamayim va'aretz v'chol tzeva'am. You see, we didn't say it. We said it together, but we didn't say it together. You cannot make two people pronounce the words exactly at the same time. So when you cannot pronounce the words exactly at the same time, who are you listening to? When Ari and I said it, who did you listen to? Me or him? So mashma that at the end, you're not going to hear anybody, and at the end, you're not yotze anybody's bracha. You're not yotze. You didn't fulfill the mitzvah. You did not fulfill the mitzvah. Now that's why you're not to do so. As we say, En Shne Kolot Nishmaim. The Shulchan Aruch in Orach Chaim in Siman Kuf Mem Aleph Seif Bet says the following, and I'm quoting: Kmo chen keshe'olim laTorah, when we go to the Torah, asur sheshnayim yikreu biyachad. It's not allowed that two people would read. Just bear with me. It's not allowed that two people would read together. Ela ha'oleh levad, right? The person who calls the Aliyah, ya'amod b'chavod, Yossi b'chavod. Yossi goes up and reads the Torah. V'shaliach tzibur shotek, and he's quiet. Why? Or she'im ha'oleh lo yodea likro, if the person doesn't know how to read, shaliach tzibur koreh bekol, he reads it out loud. V'ha'oleh, that the person who gets the Aliyah, he must read because he did make a bracha on that. So he must say it. He says it belachash. Okay? The Shulchan Aruch in Orach Chaim, Siman Taf Resh Tzadik Seif Bet, says that regarding mitzvot nedirot, like rare mitzvot, for example, let's say Mikrat Megillah, you are allowed to have two people reading, and you could, excuse me, you could be exempt even if two people are reading. You could be exempt, and the reason is because people are excited from doing this mitzvah, because it's a rare mitzvah, so everybody's going to pay attention, and they're going to pay attention. They're going to fulfill the mitzvah because they pay attention. The other one, they're not going to pay attention. Who's saying? He's saying. The both saying, right? So that's the difference. Therefore, we see from here that in human nature is that people get more excited from rare mitzvot or not so common mitzvot than they do from ordinary mitzvot. And as you could see, there is it takes, halakha addresses that as well, and it does influence the halakha to many things that we do. So, and it's easier for a person to do a big mitzvah. Aval, if you think about it, by the way, you should know it's not only for mitzvah. People always wants to, how do you call them, the whips and, no, not whips, and, how do you call this? Chains and whistles. No, not chains and whistles. What do you call it? Bells and whistles. I don't know what chains. Think about motorcycles, I don't know.
Infantry.
But, people want the whole thing. I mean, the same thing, what does any girl want? She wants Prince Charming, right? Who's going to come on a white horse, or maybe a white Lexus. Better if he'll come on a Harley, but on a white Lexus, he's going to be successful, he's going to be a darling, he's going to be intellectual, he's going to be smart, he's going to be, a PhD, and he's going to be a Latin lover, and Talmid Chacham, meanwhile, that could be the worst person for her, or the other way around, the guy wants, Queen Sheba, and not the one that Handel wrote, just the one from Shlomo Melech guy, So, everybody wants this thing, something rare, something unique. Nobody wants the regular thing. So, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it's easier for us to do a mitzvah, like for example, we're doing, for example, let's say a person, is doing a regular mitzvah, I don't know. Nobody's putting ads like you do, for example, Siyum Sefer Torah. Everybody's coming, Siyum Sefer Torah, stuff like that, right? Or if you finish a parak in a Gemara, next. But if you finish a whole Shas, I'm sure you're going to put ads in Facebook and all kind of stuff like this. It's nonsense. Something is wrong with this picture. HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and tells us something different. He says HaKadosh Baruch Hu le'Aaron, he says to him, you might have lost that special and specific mitzvah, this great mitzvah of bringing korbanot nedava inside the Mishkan or while the Mishkan in the inauguration. And yes, from this mitzvah tachaser olamit. This mitzvah you're not going to be able to do it. But you have a choice, a chance to make a regular mitzvah every single day that maybe in a way that it's a greater gift. You just didn't understand that, but it's a greater mitzvah than what you really think it is. If you're going to be able, by your routine, make this mitzvah, after your first excitement has been diluted, you should know that your ma'ala, your level, is higher than the ma'ala of the level of the Nesi'im that made this huge mitzvah, but it's a one time in a lifetime. Right? So that's a tremendous musar to all of us. I'll give you an example. Let's talk about weddings, right? That's why you weren't here and now you're so tan, right? You didn't even go to a wedding yet. We'll talk outside later on. You go to a wedding, right? People spend tons of money for a wedding. Tremendous, headache. Arranging, coordinating. If Shalach like Queen of England is coming to visit, it's a wedding, but it's a great mitzvah, everybody's thing like this. You pay so much attention to the smallest detail in the wedding, the smallest detail. But are you paying any attention to the rest of your life after the wedding? You make sure to look nice at the wedding, but are you going to look nice after the wedding? Are you going to be excited to see your husband or your wife every day after the wedding as you did? Are you going to appreciate that? The answer is absolutely not. And that's why things look the way they look. That's a big musa for you. Make your wedding smaller. And make every day something more important. Every day, B'ezrat Hashem, when you marry your wife, soon, right, when I go to overseas, thank you. Right, when you marry your wife, you should know that the big day is not the day of the wedding. The big day will be every single day from that point on. And every day you should look at your wife and say, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Even if you're going to be a wrinkled old man at 105. Yeah. You should say amen. We have it all wrong. We have it all wrong. We take those little things that we do every single day, that this is where you find the greatest kedusha. That's what brings you up higher and higher in the levels, not this flame that goes down. You have a burning coal that is always burning, smoldering inside, keeping the heat, not an excitement of gasoline that fades away. We all want to do the big things, but the holiness lies upon the little things, the regular things, the everyday things. Your downfalls is not because you didn't get to do a big mitzvah. Your downfall is because you took for granted the so-called little mitzvah, the everyday mitzvah. How would we start today? Modeh ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam, she'echzarta bi nishmati. But you have to start with appreciation of the day. Your day have to start with appreciation, and don't tell me you have an appreciation when you get up at 9 o'clock in the morning. There ain't no appreciation there. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I mean, if you love Hashem so much, if you love who you are so much, you should, as Shulchan Aruch says, get up like a lion. Get up, look forward, go to shul, put the tefillin on, put talit on, take a siddur in your head, daven like a person, daven b'kol halev. Mi yoda b'chlal if you're going to make it tomorrow. Run to Bet HaMidrash, because mi yoda b'chlal you're going to live another day. So don't tell me you're going to your grandmother in the Dominican Republic. Look what happened to them. Everybody's dropping dead there.
9 people.
Told you not to go there.
Jews?
Bo knows Diddley. You know Bo Diddley? You guys don't know Bo? You know Bo Diddley?
Bo knows.
Bo knows, that's Bo. Yeah, but Bo Diddley is a tremendous blues musician. Amazing, these people. Anyway, we have it all wrong. We want the fireworks. We want the shebang. We are interested in empty production with no real substance beyond it. There's no substance in anything we do. We want the productions. That's why we build such big buildings. That's why we do all these crazy things. We build big houses. We want the big wow, the wow factor. But we don't have a peace of mind. I'm telling you, there's something that we should learn. If you don't want to learn it from our culture because, you might think I'm going to sell you something, go ask a Japanese person, the craftsman is doing the same thing. He's shaving, pieces of wood like every single, but he's like a world master. You want to learn with him, then lech mipo, lo rotze otcha. When they're doing the work, they're doing the work. Why when we do Torah, we do anything besides learning? Or when it's time to learn Torah, all of a sudden, Malach HaMavet comes, everything. This one calls your wife, Adoni. That's what it is, because we don't see the beauty in this every day. Let's say, for example, you go jogging. So who wants to go jogging? Let's say a day like this. It's hot, it's humid. I feel like I'm in the Mississippi Delta or something like this. I'm telling you. So I'm going to take like an etouffee. I'm going to start eating, even though it's not kosher. But never mind. I'm saying it's hot. But you said, I have to go running. So the beginning is hard. And the first mile, all of a sudden, it hurts you here and it hurts you here. But you keep on running. And all of a sudden, you find yourself running 10, 12, 15 miles. and you're feeling good, you're feeling a rush. And that's a feeling that you can explain, because you do it step after step, 1 foot at a time. You want everything quick, and that will take that quickness that we are talking about here. La zrizim lemitzvot. Zrizim lemitzvot, by the way, is to put tefillin and so on and so forth. But what we are talking about, to do something and to finish it quickly, that will take one of the biggest contributors to take the meaning out of your life. And the meaning in anything that you do. You don't want to toil hard in what you do. You're not even serious about having fun. You're not even serious about having fun. Because you want it quick. Everything quick. If you know what I mean. Ain't no fun in quick. Slow and steady wins the race. Now, that's what the Kadosh Baruch Hu told Aharon. The Nesiim, yes, they had a tremendous thing, the inauguration of the Mishkan, and they brought, as we said, very expensive thing. But Shevet Levi, right? If you think about what he brings, he doesn't even bring anything. The candle that he lights, he didn't even buy the oil. He didn't even buy the oil. Now, so what is the great mitzvah that we are talking about? What? The Aaron lights the candles. Why is this mitzvah is so great? Because the Nesiim gave in a davar, again, it was worth a lot of money. If you take the amount of each one brought, and they brought from his own, we're talking about a lot of, even in today's money, we're talking about a ton of money. A lot. And as we said, Aaron didn't even buy the oil from his own money, but what is he doing besach hakol? Besach hakol, what he's doing? He's lighting the menorah as a shaliach, as a messenger on behalf of what we call Klal Yisrael. And that's what it is. The menorah is for all generations. When he lights the menorah, when he lit the menorah, and when he lit the menorah for the first time, he lit that menorah for all generations. And there is a tremendous principle here in understanding how spiritual things come to play. Very, very important. We know that when it comes to spirituality, there's no such thing as a chisaron. There's no such thing as missing things. In other words, as we say in Hebrew, en he'ader baruchani. There's no such thing that it's something spiritual and something is missing from it. There's no such thing. Whatever happened once in the spiritual world happens forever, stays there forever. As we learn, for example, in Chag HaShavuot, right? And by the way, in Chag HaShavuot, a person needs to stand, to feel every single day, right? And that's by the way what the halacha is, like every single day, like he received the Torah in Sinai today, every single day. The menorah is the menorah that lit for generations. So last week's parasha that ended in the Korbanot HaNesiim during the time of Chanukat HaMishkan, right? When that's what Rashi says. When Rashi says, "Keshera Aaron Chanukat HaNesiim chalsha da'ato shelo yamay," and so on and so forth, became weak. Amar LaKadosh Baruch Hu, "Chayecha shelcha gdola mishaleim, she'ata madlik umeitiv." Madlik umeitiv. We should really say the other way. Meitiv umadlik. Atam madlik, le'adlik is to light, le'haitiv is to prepare it. So you first prepare it, then you light it. But no, you light it now and you meitiv le'atid lavo, for the future. Now let's talk a little bit about the menorah for the generation, because it's very important. In Midrash Rabbah it says, HaKorbanot, kol zman shebet HaMikdash kayam, hayu noagim. As long as Bet HaMikdash was standing, they had korbanot. Aval hanerot le'olam kayamim. Nerot stay forever. Well, it's a little difficult, right? Because when Bet HaMikdash ain't no kayam, when there's no kayam, there's no korbanot, and there's no menorah, so there's no nerot. What does it mean? How is it possible? On that, the Ramban says that here HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised to Aaron HaKohen that by his sons, the Chashmonaim, because they were Kohanim, They're going to be tremendous nisim, tremendous miracle and salvation to Am Yisrael in Chanukah. And that's what exactly happened. And also, when they light the menorah for 8 days with one can of oil and so on and so forth, that is going to last forever. What? The mitzvah of adlakat nerot. The mitzvah of adlakat nerot, it's something, and we're all very connected to lighting the menorah. Menorah is a good business. Anywhere you go is menorah. So the mitzvah of adlakat nerot that we're doing in Chanukah is in a way what Kadosh Baruch Hu told Aaron, that's going to stay for you forever because of your children. And that is Kayam even when Bet HaMikdash is not Kayam. And that's what the Midrash says, Aval HaNerot LaOlam Kayamim. That's the candles stay forever. In other words, the association, of course, this is 8 and this is 7. We're not getting into this altogether. So we could ask, for example, okay, fine, terrific. That's regarding Chanukah. But where do we have a menorah, a candelabra every single day? So we have to understand that Torah is eternal, is forever. And every single day, when Aharon lit the candles in the Midbar, that light continues to shine upon us daily, and that did not end, lo nifsak. And it can be that something so great that Aharon only did for himself for one period of time, while they were in the desert. That shines constantly. The light of the menorah shines constantly, but it's hidden. That light is not really light that we can see like this. You need to really open your eyes and see that light in a different way. Aaron HaKohen lights the land, the world from us, but from a different way. He me'ir alenu menorah shel mala. He lights the candelabra from above. All we need to do is connect with that light through ma'aseh ruchani. In other words, become more spiritual, less physical, less materialistic. Then you, as they say, you do what? You see the light. Then you could see the light. How do we call a person who saw the light? Enlightened. In other words, a person like this saw the light of the spiritual light that Aharon lit, and that's also what the Midrash says forever. Because Baruchani, Aharon did something Ruchani. It continues forever. Now you have to understand that when you do something also that has a spiritual aspect, on yourself, that thing stays forever. And that's why you have to be very, very careful in how you guard your neshama and how you execute your daily routines, because that will stay that thing, good or bad, will stay forever. And that's something that it's scary. If you come to think about it, it's really scary to think that something like this, actually takes place. That will happen. It takes place every single day. Look at the energy that you feel when you go to the kotel or to other places like this. You're connected to something different. It grabs you. And that's what it is. Now you should know. In order to do so, we are in a state of chaos. And a state of chaos, I'm talking about internal spiritual chaos. We are not in a state of Yeshiva dat, of shanti, of calm, of harmony. We're not in a state of in internal harmony. We're not. So that's why the menorah came. The menorah came together, all the parts, all the halakim of the bria, of creation, and together all the parts of the neshamot of Am Yisrael, to shine them together equally. That's, by the way, one of the remazim why the Ner Ma'aravi was always lit. Maybe remez to the Kotel Ma'aravi that will always stand. Because the Kotel Ma'aravi, who built the Kotel Ma'aravi? All the poor people that donated money. So, and how we're going to gather this in a very, very special way. corresponding to the menorah Elyonah, what we call in Olam HaAtzilut, to the highest menorah, to the highest level in Olam HaAtzilut, the Kohen Gadol that came to do this melacha, he needed to have tremendous concentration. That's what we learn in the morning. But the concentration of the Kohen Gadol that he needed to do when he lit the menorah, he had to be very, very careful, because yes, the Nesiim brought the korbanot, but Aaron is basically taking care of the future of Am Yisrael, of the spiritual integrity of Am Yisrael, by shining the light on all those things, on all the neshamot, on all the sparks of all the Jews that will ever come together. And it needs a tremendous concentration that also in his heart there's not going to be perud. That's why Aharon was chosen to be a Kohen. Not only he loved shalom, he chased after shalom. He chases after harmony. He wanted to be shalem, makdim shalom lechol adam. He was nice to everybody. Hello, hello. He was going to people. He was the first one to do it. You can be a person like that, not only a leader, but a leader that actually heals his people. You can't be a person that has a division in your mind and say, oh, you know what, I like him, but man, I like him, but not that much. It can't be. All are children of Israel. All together. Whether you're poor or you're rich, you can't have this thing. And that is a tremendous lesson that we can learn, and maybe without getting into political, symbolism and political arguments or ideas or agendas and so on and so forth, or outlooks. Did you ever ask yourself why the symbol? And again, you know why I hold, you know where I am, but why the symbol of the state of Israel is a menorah, dafka? It's not the Magen David. The symbol, official emblem of the state of Israel is a menorah. America has eagles, the other one has, frogs, for friends, whatever you have over there. Polacks have an eagle with 2 legs and 2 heads, crazy stuff. We have a menorah. Why dafka menorah? Well, maybe they could make luchot habrit. Maybe they should have taken, I don't know what. I didn't know there. Torah, tanks, airplanes, eagle, tigers.
Dove.
What?
Dove.
What?
דוב.
יונה.
מה לעם ישראל וליונה? מה, אתה שמאלני? You're left winger, why יונה? Doves and stuff that go in pictures that go in the streets over there, in New York, and like flying rats. What has to do with Am Yisrael? The menorah has to do with Am Yisrael. Why? Because the idea comes there. The idea was that Am Yisrael is supposed to they thought hopefully that the Medina will gather all the Jews together and they would try. Of course, they did something else, but I'm just giving you as an idea because the menorah has it symbolizes the magnet, the spiritual magnet of Am Yisrael, that everybody should come on board together. We should all go to the land of Israel together. This is our home. That's our homeland. And do we feel that? Do we feel that oneness with the other Jew? If you don't feel oneness, feeling one with Am Yisrael, you gotta be concerned. The reason why you gotta be, why is he yelling over there? You gotta be concerned, and I'm gonna tell you why you gotta be concerned, because probably you standing in the shade a little bit, the light of the menorah, the spiritual light of the menorah, maybe it's not shining on you. You need to bring yourself to the light. That's a problem. If you're a person who divides and conquers and talks to this one, you know what I'm saying. Plenty of examples. That means that something spiritually is detrimentally wrong with you. You're not getting enough light. If you would expose yourself to the light that Aharon lit, that would not be able to happen. Would not be able to happen. So, and we need to understand also that in the heart of every Jew there is the menorah. And it works the same way. That the brain should affect the heart and so on. The light comes from above. And if we have in our heads, in our heart, in the heads, the awareness of the kedusha of the menorah shel mala, the kedusha of the menorah from above. So if we have this from above, also everything from the heart would be aligned together. And the same thing like this. When we're going to accept the malchut of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in our world, when we're going to accept the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu melech malkei ha-melachim, that's His word and we came here to serve it, everything that is in our hearts would be lightened because of that fact as well. And therefore all the questions that we have, we're going to be removed. We're going to have the answers because we understand that this is the word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and this is how He wants it. And then I am working in light, I'm not working in darkness. You know, if you look at these two rooms, over there it's dark, over here is light. It's light because somebody turned on the light. So why won't you turn on your light? Accept the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Melech, it's His word, and that will really, believe me, would undo any kind of boundaries, any kind of shackles that you put yourself into, and which really prevent you from elevate yourself completely spiritually. You know, and it's like this person who always wants to ask questions because, and he just wants to answer, he doesn't want to hear the answer. The reason why he doesn't want to hear the answer, he just wants to ask the question, so he will have an excuse why he cannot do what he needs to do. Right? Plenty of examples for that. And of course, that's what brings us back to what the Dor HaMidbar did when they did the Gamim with the blemished in what we call the Da'at HaElyonah. They did some horrible things that might not seem to us so big, but really Lemaisa, they were pretty big. And each one from us should really strive in whatever you can in your power to execute, and that's why we tried to say yesterday also, to execute what you do to the best of your abilities. Don't be mediocre in your Avodat Hashem. Try to strive to do everything you can at the highest level. At the highest level. You should be the one who puts things together, not things apart. You should be the one who solves problems, does not create problems. You're going to be the one who takes all the lights of the menorah and puts it back together and shines it about. And mainly that's through the Torah, because Or Sheba Machziram Lamutab. The light of the menorah is the light of the Torah. That brings everybody back together. But when there is a Peirud, when there is a division, that affects everything out. It distorts the light. And then the light doesn't shine. It's distorted. You get sick from it. Now, yes, he does not need, Aaron does not need the level of skills that Betzalel and Eliyavet, when they build the Mishkan and so on and so forth. He doesn't need that. He needs to have the endurance to persevere, to continue doing what he's doing at the best of his abilities, the same thing as we do it like this. I mean, look at what happened to us, right? We had Pesach. Pesach came right away. We counted the Omer. Every day. Yesod shebe Yesod, Malchut shebezeh, and every day, different levels, right? Then we had Lag BaOmer, Sodot HaTorah, Kabbalah, and everything like this. And then we came Shavuot, we received the Torah, we're learning Torah 24 hours around the clock. All of a sudden, Shavuot is over, we don't even have Isru Chag. For crying out loud, we don't even have Yom Sheni Shagel, Chol HaMoed, nothing. Boom. Why? Here the Torah teaches us something very important. Something very, very important. We'll finish with this. That the mitzvot that we usually do, the regular mitzvot that we usually do, these are the mitzvot that we need to be mitchazek, we need to strengthen, and we have to get used to do them as perfect as we can, as the halakha demands, without ifs and buts, without questioning. Question in order to know how to do it better, but not why do I have to do it, why do I have to do it. Without cutting corners, without looking for loopholes. Because all these things come from Mitzad HaYetzer Hara. Whether it's tefillin, or talit, or tefillah, or kashrut, or Shabbat, or Taharat HaMishpacha, or whether it's a Ben Adam Lechavero, and on and on and on and on. Every single thing that we do every single day, those are the things that will bring you the Kedusha. The holiness lies in the small details. And that's exactly what Rashi says at the end of the parasha of the menorah, and it says, "Vayasken Aaron lepnei menorah, ha'ela nerotea kasher tziva Hashem et Moshe." And Rashi wrote on that, "Vayasken Aaron." What does it mean, "Vayasken Aaron"? Le'agid shivcho shel Aaron shelo shina. He did exactly as HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted him to do. Why? Because he's the boss. And Baalei HaMusar says, "Shivcho shel Aaron shelo shina afilu acher kama shanim." Even few years after that, he still did it exactly he was commanded. There was no maybe shita zot or the shita is exactly as it says. So when a person reaches this level, therefore his everyday mundane things becomes healthy. He becomes healthy. He sees meaning in everything that he does. And then life is worth living. If not, you know what. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.